Hello, good afternoon, wherever you are. This is your host, Jessica, with a live, a usual Sunday afternoon session, 1 hour question answers live session. Uh, this is a live session from the UK, and if you got any questions regarding civil engineering, immigration to the UK, or any other settlement into the UK in the UK, you can call me on the WhatsApp number, which is on the. I've just added the number there in the live chat as well, so you can call that number. But just to set out, yeah, the standard. So I'll take your calls live in the session and will try to respond as much as possible based on my sort of experience and also, yeah, based on my knowledge. But just to let you know, I'm not an immigration officer. I'm neither sort of a lawyer. So all the information I'm providing is based on my personal experience and my knowledge. So if you need specific information, you need to make sure you contact the relevant sort of your official there to make sure you are taking the right decision. But whatever I'm providing in this session would be based on my personal experience, my knowledge being here in the UK, and all the information I can share will be based on that. So that's just to set up. But this is a 1 hour live session. Uh, by the way, yeah, this is my son. He's speaking in. So this is a 1 hour weekly session which runs between 3 to 4 p.m. UK time. So you can dial in and you can contact me on that number. I'll edit that in the live chat there. Also, if you miss, yeah, the earlier part, I generally upload this on my YouTube channel as well, so you can obviously rewind them at your own leisure there. That's the pattern. Generally, the question I would be interested to hear from yourselves will be about the UK. Obviously, I'm here in the UK, so I provide as much information as possible. If you're planning even to either to study or immigration, or skilled worker visa, or any other sort of visa, you want to come here and join the UK team. That's where I'm here live just to answer your questions. I would encourage you, if you can call the number. I will take the questions, the live session. Obviously, it's fine. I mean, if you are yeah, the English is bothering you, I don't mind. I mean, asking the question either in Urdu, Hindi, or maybe in Pashto as well, so I can respond accordingly there. I don't mind. I mean, you're sending the messages here in the live chat as well. I'll give you a chance. Yeah, but keep pouring them. Yeah, the questions there as well. When I finish with the live chat, with the live questions, obviously I'll jump onto those questions as well. And obviously this session is for yourself, so make sure you take the full advantage of this session. This number I've added in is my WhatsApp number. Generally, I do receive personal messages, obviously, out of this session, generally, which is a 1 hour session. Unfortunately, I can't respond to each individual. Obviously, if I start doing that, that would be like my full time job, unpaid full time job, and I can't manage that at all. That's why I set up basically this 1 hour for yourselves. So if you've got any questions, I'll be happy to take your questions here, and then we can discuss it. Yeah, your question to make sure you get the information what you are after. So this is for yourself. It's your session, so make use of it. But as said, generally the question I receive on the WhatsApp, yeah, on a person as a person message. Unfortunately, I can't respond to individual there. So make sure you make use of this session as much as possible. And as said, this is a Sunday live session, 1 hour session from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. So let's take the questions that in the live chat in the interim. Obviously, I'll wait for any calls. I mean, if you get any calls, or I'll jump onto the question on the live session as well, the live calls. So the first question from Jabin B. Koshe. Sir, what is the scope of Masters in Commercial Management? and quantity surveying in the UK. Quantity surveying is very high, much in demand, Jabin. Obviously, this is part of the civil engineering discipline as well. Yeah, quantity surveying. Um, I would say in terms of the scope, definitely there is a high regard, high scope here. But obviously, I mean, if you don't have the experience basically, and you're coming as a fresher, basically doing your masters and looking forward to your job after, yeah, fresher with no experience, I generally say for to get the on the job later, you need to ensure you brush up your soft skills, and by soft skills I mean your communication skills, your presentation skills, your team building skills, also the hard skill which you're going to get from these courses when you do your courses there. That will give you a higher opportunity when you finish your course basically and get onto the job ladder. That's where you're going to get a higher chance to be hired there. So as long you prepare from the onset, I mean, for your job, that would be a good opportunity there. But as far the opportunities are concerned for QS quantity surveying, I'm sure, yeah, there are lots of opportunities available, and you can even search. Basically, in the interim, you can do some search on the job portals we generally use here in the UK, like CV Library, totaljobs.com. LinkedIn is primarily you should use quite often as well. I mean, that's generally used as like a professional Facebook in the UK. So all the recruiters, all the employers, I mean, they are very active on the LinkedIn as well. So make sure you have your profile set up there as well. So that's a good opportunity to get interaction with the employer, with the recruitment agencies as well. So that will be a good start for yourself to get into the sort of yeah, for in your portfolio, to expose yourself to the job community basically. So LinkedIn is a best platform for yourself. So I hope that is clear. Do comment here. I mean, if you're satisfied with the answers, obviously, I need to make sure you understand, yeah, what I'm trying to convey the message. Also, if you like the information, don't forget, yeah, to press the like button as well. If you haven't subscribed, obviously, I would encourage you to subscribe to my channel, and I do upload, yeah, relevant civil engineering stuff basically on my YouTube channel as well. So that will be useful for yourselves, I mean, to browse around as well on my channel. Right, the next question is from Khan Riaz. I have a master degree in construction management, planning to come to the UK on dependent visa. So how difficult it will be to get a job? How difficult it will be? I think I already touched upon how to get a job into the UK job market. So construction management, basically, again, yeah, that's part of the civil engineering. It's no sort of, yeah, surprise. I mean, that there is a high demand for construction management as well. But obviously, for that specific, if you're looking jobs in the construction management side, you need to have the health and safety, and your communication skills should be a top notch basically. So you need to practice basically those sort of skills. For the health and safety, I would encourage you to check the hse.go, I think .co.uk, which is the UK sort of health and safety websites, and that will give you lots of information about the health and safety in the construction industry in the UK. So familiarize yourself with the health and safety law and all the other sort of bits and bobs on that website. Also, the CDM, construction design management regulations. I mean, that is very important as well if you're working in the construction industry in the UK. And that will give you a better chance of basically to have the know-how of the construction industry in the UK, and that will give you a better chance of, yeah, getting higher in the UK. So get used to basically the laws here. I mean, how the construction works. Stuff that was yeah, it was just a one-off basically. My kids just around, so obviously this is a live session. Anything can happen in the live session, so be prepared, yeah, for that as well. So brother, so I was just highlighting that for the construction management, brush up your health and safety sort of, yeah, the skills, communication is vital, because you'll be, when you are doing construction management, that means you will be responsible to deal with the subcontractors as well on site and give them instructions. So that's where communication comes, yeah, up, and that plays a vital role there as well. So make sure you start basically talking in English. I mean, obviously that's where you need to talk here in English. So improve your presentation skills, your communication skills in English, and also the health and safety side of it. So I'm sure, yeah, if you brush up all those sort of skills, it would be quite easy to find a job. Um, Obviously, I mean, the way the market work here in the UK, when you search for the jobs, basically on the job portals I mentioned earlier, when you click on those job descriptions, that will be quite specific, the employers needed actually from yourself. So that will be like, I mean, for the construction project management, obviously if you're going for the graduate role, they don't anticipate you to have master's level, basically to master or competency of a high level in each sort of discipline. They won't anticipate you that, but obviously there will be sort of, yeah, the basics basically of engineering, that was you need to know. And apart from the basics, the soft skill which I mentioned, basically you need to brush up those sort of skills. That should be good enough to get you onto the job ladder. But obviously consistency is something you need to make sure, don't get basically don't fed up with if you don't get a response from some of the recruiters. Just get on with it, basically keep basically applying for the jobs that are relevant to yourself. Make sure your CV is as per the UK standards as well. That's very important, because that's the only way you can get a call basically, and get the intention from the employer, from the recruiter. So as long you have the good CV there, and actually there's lots of requests that's coming along as well, actually from yourselves, from different sort of your colleagues about the CV. I'm planning to upload actually my personal CV and share that with yourselves as well in coming sort of, yeah, days. I'm planning to make a video on that. Obviously, I got lots of experience, so don't be sort of decided that I got, because of my experience, yeah, I got 3-4 pages CV, and you are fresh. So obviously, you won't have that sort of, yeah, sort of, you need to fill those pages. It doesn't require that. As long you have the right content in your CV, that's what is required. Obviously, for the graduate, you don't need to fill 4 pages for no reason. Obviously, if you don't have experience, as long you capture the right relevant sort of your content in your CV, that's what is required here in the UK. So brother Khan Riaz, please do comment, I mean, if you're satisfied with the answer. Also, yeah, do press the like. I mean, if you're satisfied, obviously I anticipate you to press the like button as well, and subscription as well. Right. The next question is from Vignesh Subramaniam. Hi, sir. Please tell about how can we save some money through part-time jobs, best and affordable accommodation. Uh, Brother, like, I mean, for the part-time jobs, as you may be aware, the situation in the UK is quite good now as we speak. And actually from tomorrow, 17th of May, more relaxation and more sort of release from the lockdown is come in place as well. So there will be a lot more opportunities, so that is really a positive from the UK. And I'm sure, yeah, the people, the students, I mean, they came last sort of, yeah, session, they were struggling, but I'm sure, yeah, the new sort of coming, yeah, the new session they are coming here, they will find it easy basically to find the jobs. And the sole reason being, all the non-essential shops, all the indoor venues, everything that will be up and running from tomorrow, and there'll be lots of opportunity there. In terms of, yeah, I would say if you can afford it, that the best part-time jobs, I would say, sh- uh, well, obviously if you can afford it, I said, the security jobs, I mean, which is manageable with your studies as well. You can do part-time jobs, and also when you're out of the term, you can do full-time job as well. And actually the shift actually for the security jobs, I mean, that spans between 10 to 12 hours basically per shifts, and that's where that can make you a lot more money than the normal sort of, yeah, if you're working either in the warehouse or in some other shops, basically the outlets and the food chains. I mean, if you're working there, so the security will give you a lot more money, obviously, but you can't get straight into the security because you need to get the license first, and that's going to cost you around, I think, between 300 to 400 pound. You need to go through the training, which is easy sort of training, health and safety sort of side. I mean, that's all covered in security. And then you have to apply for the SIA license, and you get basically the approval, these basically the card, so you are licensed a security officer, and you can apply for those jobs. That will give you a bit more sort of money, and you can save a lot more with that one. But otherwise, I mean, even the other jobs, I mean, if you can't afford, I mean, initially, if you come here to the UK, you can't afford that 300-400 pound to spend on the security card, then there will be jobs available in the warehouses, in the sort of, yeah, the big stores, like, I mean, Asda, Tesco, Sainsbury's. These are full-fledged, the big stores here, and they are all around the UK, and I'm sure you will find your way through there. Also, the food chains like Burger King and the McDonald's, KFC, the food chains are everywhere, all around the country here as well. So you can apply those as well. They can accommodate for students as well. But obviously, on the part-time jobs, I would encourage you, don't go beyond obviously the limits which you get, the 20 hours limit when you are during the term time. So you have to restrict yourself to 12 or 20 hours, and I'm sure the 20 hours is good enough to cover your living cost here. I mean, that include your residence, like, I mean, the rent, your food, your transportation, whatever your cost will be here. The 20 hours should be good enough, basically, and that's affordable here, as long you cover your initial sort of, yeah, fee from wherever you're coming from. If you cover those costs basically from your home country, the other cost, like, I mean, the living cost, and all the other expenses, I'm sure is easily coverable here in the UK. So concentrate on your studies. That's what I was trying to make my point. So when you come here, make your study as a priority rather than just earning the money. Obviously, money will come later on, definitely, when you finish your studies and finding your relevant job. So money will come all along. So I hope that clarifies, Vignesh, your question there. As said, if you are satisfied and if you're still alive there, do press the like button so I know, yeah, you are satisfied with that question, your answer there. The next question from Stephen George: is it possible to do a short-term survey course in the UK to get a job in the UK? I'm here in tier 2 dependent visa. I have prior site engineer experience in the Middle East, but no experience in the survey. Uh, Brother, so obviously, if you got the site experience, I would encourage you to just do basically search the job into the site engineer sort of role as well, rather than doing more courses. Obviously, the way I said it, because if you go into the server, which you have no experience there, so you will go as a graduate, basically as a fresher there. Obviously, despite the fact you will do some courses there, you will still be regarded as a fresher there. So if you already got the site engineer experience in the Middle East, uh, concentrate on the health and safety. That is very important, especially for the site engineer role and the construction management sort of role. Do brush up those skills, as mentioned earlier, the CDM regulations, health and safety. Visit the hse.co.uk. I believe that is the website, but HSE, Health and Safety Executive. That's what the website is called, and all the health and safety, construction laws, everything is on that website. So that will familiarize yourself basically with the health and safety, the laws here in the UK, and brush up those sort of skills, your communication skills. and I'm sure you can find your way as a site engineer. I wouldn't encourage you to go into the survey if you don't have an experience, because that would be completely shifting from already you got the experience already as a site engineer. But obviously, if you're really keen, I'm sure yeah you can find the short courses somewhere. Just Google it. That's what I would do, because it's not something I have done it myself. Basically, some surveys or short courses, but I'm sure you can find some short courses on the Google. Just find out yeah the reasonable sort of yeah within reach from yourself, so you could do that as well. But I would encourage you to stick to the site engineer role, and because you already know the basics there, you already got experience, so that's why I encourage you to stay there. I hope that clarifies your question, Stephen. I said do press the like button, I mean, if you are satisfied. Thank you for your questions. Yeah, it's keep coming. So the next question is from Usha Reddy. Sir, kindly tell me growth and job opportunity in construction engineering and management in civil engineering. I'm interested to join UEL for September intake. Kindly suggest me, sir. Right, Usha, you cover all the different disciplines: construction, engineering, and management in civil engineering. So, as I've been speaking in the same term, Usha, if you're following me, yeah, from the start. So, civil engineering is in high demand, and obviously, I mean, all the relevant sort of whether that's a construction management or that's a structure engineering, whether you're on the design side or the construction side, they are high regarded, high demand courses here in the UK. But obviously, when it comes to the job market, it all depends how you perform in the interview. So it's completely separate from what you have studied basically at the uni. Obviously, the study when you complete your degree, that make you eligible to apply for the job. Obviously, that is the first stage. I mean, to apply for the job. But after your completion of study is completely your skills that will make your way into the job market. So as long you represent yourself, what you can offer to the employer, obviously when the employer advertise job on these websites, like I mean the total jobs, the civil library, engineers.net, the railwaypeople.com, linkedin, I mean there are lots of different websites. You can click on those sort of yeah job, and they will have specific description about the jobs, what they actually need from yourself as an employee. So as long you tick those boxes, I mean you can assess yourself straight away when you read those requirements there. Also, I would encourage you, I mean, if there's some points which are not clear, I would just do a bit of a research before the interview or before I apply there, to make sure I'm confident about yeah those terminology, I mean what they're talking about here before we apply. We don't want to get up into this sort of state which where we go to the interview and we don't know about what the employer needs from us. So that's where you need to be very careful when you apply for the job. Make sure you understand the terminology there, what they're after, and once you're clear on those terms, I'm sure yeah the interview is straightforward. They will be very relevant to the job advertised. So very minimal sort of yeah outside yeah sort of question will come around. The rest will be straight away. I would say 80-90% will be straight away whatever the employee have advertised. So they will be very relevant, those sort of questions that will be asked in your interview. Obviously the soft skills, I mean that's I keep repeating, especially for the graduates, that's very important. So brush up your those skills, I mean like yeah your communication, obviously that is paramount for any sort of job, whether you're a fresher or you are sort of yeah experienced person. Obviously, as long you can communicate a better way, that's where you get that gets you to the next stage. And you should brush up yeah those sort of skills, and I'm sure you can get your way through the job market there. So I hope that clarifies your question there, Usha. Um, and if it did, so I would like you to press the like button. Thank you. Next question is from Varen Akoskar. Sir, can you please give us insight on how the UK? Okay, so before I answer your question, there's a call, so let's take this call first. Hello, you are live. with JK. Can you share your name and your location, please? Hi, Vignesh. I'm very well. Thank you very much, Vignesh. You are a consistent sort of my caller, yeah, every session. So thank you very much for that. Thank you. How how can I help you? Thank you very much. How can I help you, Vignesh? Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. Okay. Is there any more questions? Okay. Okay. Thank you very much and stay live. Yeah, I'll answer your question there. Yeah. Thank you. So thank you, Waganesh. I mean, you are the sort of my regular caller on this session. So thank you very much for that. And your question is about the hotel quarantine. Obviously, India is still on the red list, and if you're coming from the red list country, you need to stay in the hotel quarantine, and that's going to cost you £1,750. I did make a video, actually a short video, just to give you basically the loopholes. I mean, that's still available to grab. Obviously you still have to spend some money on, yeah, coming here from the red list countries, but the alternatives basically to reduce that cost, £1,750, what you can do is basically find and search your friends. I mean, if they are interested and they are traveling with yourself in the same course, or even if they are not in the same course, just find the people that can travel in the same flight. So instead of, yeah, booking yourself only a room there, what you can do, you can share the room, and the room can be shared between three people. So one room can be shared three people. So that means the first member that they have to pay £1,750. The other two members that can be added as dependent, and they have to pay £650 each. So that means in total for three-person you have to pay £3,050 around, yeah, that figure. And if you divide that by three, so you get away, basically you have to pay £1,000 instead of £1,750. So obviously there's a bit of a saving there. That is the option, basically, if you're planning to come here, especially for the September session. And I'm pretty certain India will be in the red list country by that time as well. So that is one of the alternative. The other alternative is that may be a bit cheaper than this sort of, yeah, basically option. And if you can find out either a green list or the amber list countries, all these countries, actually the red, green, amber sort of, yeah, different categories, you can find the list of the countries on the gov.uk website, which is gov.uk. So that's the website. You can find out which countries are in the red list, amber list, or green list. So you can choose either the amber or green list from there, and whichever you find basically a cheaper option, so you can transit to those countries and stay there for 10 days and travel from those countries. Obviously you have to do the hotel, basically stay there, but obviously you can enjoy the holiday there for 10 days as well. Obviously you have to pay for those hotels and you stay there, and I'm sure that would be a lot cheaper than what you would spend here in the hotel quarantine in the UK. So once you have done, basically stay there for 10, 11 days in a green or amber country, then you can travel from those countries to the UK. In that case, you don't have to do quarantine. So that is the alternative option. So just think about, yeah, the different options you still have the opportunity to avail. Obviously September session, I would say from UK perspective, are moving, as said, in the right direction, and I'm pretty certain that will be quite a good session for all the students they're planning to come here for studies. The Actually, from tomorrow, from the 17th of May, the face-to-face lectures, it has to start as actually from tomorrow as well. So that's a positive for the students as well. So for sure, the September session will be a good session where all the students can go back to normal, basically to the universities as well. So if you can avail the opportunity, the September one, if the quarantine is only the issue, so you have the other options. Obviously, if you can afford them, with a reduced rate, as I mentioned, actually a couple of options you have there. You can reduce the £1,750 sort of cost there. If you can avail those opportunity for September session, that would be a good session. But otherwise, I mean, we don't know actually whether it's by January would that be the same case. Obviously you're going to derail your sort of studies quite a bit there. I mean, and if we are in the same boat basically by January as well, that mean you have to basically slip another year. So it's completely up to yourself, Vignesh, how you play, but these are the sort of alternative option that can save you a bit of money there. So I hope that clarifies your question there. And thank you very much again for your call. Uh, and do press the like button if you haven't already. Thank you. So let's get on with the question from the live chat. So the question was from Viren. So can you please give us insight on how the UK civils market and construction works in the UK compared to Indian market? Uh, I don't know much about the Indian market, if I'm honest, but I did a sort of superficial sort of market research, and I'm pretty certain that the engineers are really struggling, especially in the civil engineering market. Also, what I've found actually from different videos as well, the quality, the standards of education is not good as well, and that's where that is the lack of basically your studies and the industry requirement. So there's no match between the two. That's where the lack is coming there. So that's all I know about the Indian industry, not nothing beyond that. And that's where basically the students, they are struggling to find into the job ladder, because there's no match between what they've studied and what their implications on the jobs are. So that's where they're lacking the job market there. But if I can talk a bit more from the UK perspective, the way the market work here, the studies and the basically the industry, there always been a negotiation discussion between the industries, the UK industries, and the basically educational institution. So they need to make sure they prepare the students for what the industry needs. So that's the difference between the two. So when you finish your studies, obviously you have the basics already studies there, and you have to implement those basics from the studies into your practical life. So that's the difference, and that's make you a lot more easier your life basically when you do your masters. As long you then you understand all the basically the subjects for your study there, is just a matter of application of those studies, the theory into the practice. Basically, that is the difference. And for civil engineers, I'm sure, yeah, it's an open field. And once you completed, basically, you understood your lectures, your subjects. Once you've studied your degree here, it'll be easy to apply into the job market, because there'll be quite relevancy between the two, your studies and into the practical job there. So I hope I have clarified wherein the difference. But I have little knowledge about the Indian market, but that's all I knew. And I hope that clarifies your question there. Um, if it does, do press please the like button. So next question is from Arpit. What is the job profile for candidates through those who do MSc in railway system engineering integration? It's under Department of Civil Engineering in the Universities of Birmingham. Brother, MSc in Railway System Engineering and Integration is a very good choice. I've been in the railway industry for the past 15 years, and I know, yeah, how much demand, yeah, for engineers is in the industry. Actually, especially if you do your masters, these railway system engineering is not an old sort of degree. This came about a few years back, and the sole reason was there was lots of shortage in the industry, actually in the railway industry, for the relevant competent people actually in the industry. That's where this sort of MSc railway system engineering, I think one of the university in London they are offering, and one is Birmingham. These are the only two universities they are offering this course, this MSc course, and this is in high demand actually. So I'm pretty certain as long you complete your degree, the job will be there. There's a huge demand. I'm in the railway industry, and I know how much demand for the engineers are, especially the civil engineers. And it's not just civils. I would say throughout, whether you are electrical, mechanical, you're signaling, your P-way, the P-way engineer. So all the different disciplines. I mean, there's a huge demand throughout, in the industry. And also, if you're not aware, there's a HS2 high speed 2 project, which is like the mega project. I mean, that's literally started now, and the completion is basically in 2032. So 10, 12 years sort of, the program there for the construction. And there's a huge demand for the engineers to be basically encapsulated in that sort of project there. So there's a huge prospects for the engineers there in the railway industry. I must say this is a really good choice for yourselves to be in that course. I know it's not cheap though, so it's going to cost you a lot more, the course itself. But I'm pretty certain after completion of the studies, there'll be lots of demand for yourselves there. So I hope that clarifies your question, Arpit, there. Um, Guys, I would expect you to have a few more calls actually. So I'm a bit disappointed. Only one call from Vignesh, and so I hope, guys, I mean, this clarifies your questions there. But just wanted to touch upon basically the basic questions. I mean, that comes from yourselves about the job prospects after completion of their studies. Obviously, when students come and they plan basically to immigrate from the home country to the UK, they're thinking the long term there. Obviously, it's not just completing their degree and bugger off basically back to the home country. That is the general inception basically to stay here in the long term, and how to survive and settle in the UK. So just to give you a bit of a background. Before that, let's take this call first, and we see who's there. Hello, brother. You are live with JK. Can I take your name and your question, please?
Hello, sir. This is Arpit Gupta here. I just asked you the question regarding MSc in railway system engineering.
Hi. How are you? Did I satisfy your question there? Oh, is this?
Yes, you did, sir. I have a couple of questions, a little more regarding the same subject.
Sure, yeah.
Actually, I have a civil engineering background and I have 6 years experience as a field engineer. I
Mm-hmm.
worked in Sistra in India.
Okay.
And after doing some field engineering work in building sectors of railways, I wanted to explore more in railways, so I wanted to pursue my master's in this RSCI course.
Okay.
So I want to, since my background is in building sector, so I want to ask you that which department should I more focus in RSCI, because it's a multidisciplinary field, and I want to expertise in. I have my personal interest in track systems.
Right.
But what should I go for to get a good job in the UK, and which should also match my personal interest?
Okay, fair enough. Yep, I got your question. Is any more questions, brother?
No, sir.
Okay, stay alive there on YouTube. I'll answer your question. Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks for your call.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your call. So your interest, obviously, your experience is building side, and you got 6 years experience. and you are interested in track system. So that is really a good combination, I would say. As mentioned earlier, I've been in the railway industry for the past 15, 16 years, and I can certainly say from my experience there is a huge demand actually for the system engineers, the track, whether it's a track or there's a even within the railway as well, there are different sort of disciplines there. You can try those ones as well. But I'm sure once you're done this MSc railway system engineering, I'm sure you can easily settle in the railway industry. And it's not hard and fast rule, because you can switch around once you get a job. I'm sure, yeah, if you're not interested, it's not hard and fast rule. You have to stay for rest of your life there. You can switch around there, so it's not a hard fast rule, as said. And we call it the transferable skills actually from one discipline to the other, so you can always switch between the different disciplines. So um, go for your favorite, obviously, the track system, sort of your favorite sort of subject. Try search in that sort of side, and I'm sure you will be able to find your job there. Even if you can't find, for some reason, I would say expand your sort of search a bit more. Once you get into the job later, your first job, that is crucial. I mean, once you get the first job in, that means you get a tag. Basically, you got the job here in the UK. You have done a bit of a work in the UK. Once you get that tag here, the UK tag, then you can switch around. I mean, it's not a hard and fast rule. Basically, you need to stay within that company or within that discipline for rest of your life. It's always back and forth. Basically, you can go back and forth into different discipline. But for me, I would say from salary wise as well, I stick to the railway. I've been in the railway, and I can't share my bank account, but yeah, I can tell you there's lots of money basically in the railway industry as well. So that will give you a better chance and a better life here in the UK. So I hope I put that clarifies your question there. And just going back to the actually the discussion I was going through. Actually, I was sharing the actually the question generally comes from yourself about, yeah, settling here in the UK after completion of studies. Obviously, that is the intention from majority of the students. They come here. Obviously, they come for the long term settlement here in the UK. It's a good opportunity, especially for those that are coming now. Obviously, the great opportunity is the PSW, which come along now as well. That give you a chance basically to settle in here. Obviously, due to the Brexit as well, that's another golden opportunity, especially for the Asian community, I would say. Now, the due to the Brexit, all the European, they are out. They have to go through the same system as the Asian. So there's a competition now between the European and Asian. Obviously, from basically what I've seen with Asian, I'm sure, yeah, we do a lot more struggle. We do a lot more hard work. I mean, to strive for our future rather than the European. Obviously, the European being in the sort of UK, being in the sort of, yeah, European Union. That mean before the Brexit, I mean, it was easy sort of, yeah, for the European. They will come here without sort of knowledge anything, and they will start working here. But now, due to the Brexit, that isn't the case. So there's an open field for, especially for the Asian, I would say. And I would highly encourage you. I mean, this is the easiest way to get into the UK now, to get through this masters. I mean, I encourage you to do the masters, because that's only 1 year course. And after 1 year, I'm sure, yeah, this you can get the PSW 2 years, and then you can get into the job ladder here. And it's not hard, especially for the civil engineers. I'm sure, yeah, if you know basically what you studied, if you know your sort of subject, if you know your soft skills, that's all you need, I mean, to get into the job ladder. And once you get into the job, basically the first job is, as mentioned, you're there. Basically, you are into the next step basically on your career. You can go into the PR, and then basically it just works out with the time actually. And that's the settlement. I hope this is a good information. Now, let's go back to the questions. So from Usha, sir, my brother completed masters in civil engineering recently in UK. So what next step take for post-study visa, as well as how go through getting job in the civil engineering? Thank you, sir. Right. So if the rules for the PSW, I'm sure, yeah, I did upload number of videos on my YouTube channel. I won't go repeat, yeah, the same thing again here, but for the PSW, that is going to start from 1st of July. That's where the application is going to be open. I'm not sure if your brother already completed, so that mean he won't be eligible. I mean, by completion, when I say completed, that mean you get the results from the university and they have declared you clear all your assignments, your dissertation, everything, so you have cleared those. So if they have already cleared that before before the July, that mean he's not eligible for the PSW. As long the completion is after the July, that's where basically completion means he get the degree, not actually the degree, I would say, as long the university declares that he completed all his modules, he completed his dissertation, and that's where the completion comes. And actually the rules does say the university, the higher education provider, they will inform the home office for the completion. So it's not up to the students to inform the home office, it's up to the higher education. They will inform the home office that, yeah, certain person there who completed their degree and he's eligible basically to go into the next step. So that is the rule. Actually, for more details, I would say I would encourage you to go into my channel and just search for basically more in-depth details about the PSW. I'm sure that will guide you more there. But in terms of the job scope, I've been repeated. Yeah, I think I don't want to get you bored, yeah, or the audience here. Please do repeat. Yeah, I will upload this again on my YouTube channel, so you can review those sort of answers which are already basically I already covered them earlier about the scope and how to get the job into the UK if you are a civil engineer. So I hope that clarifies your question there. Uh, Right. The next question is from Kaushal Aduri. As a postgraduate student, can we apply for a CSCS white card? Yes, absolutely. You can apply for the CSCS white card, which is the academically qualified person, AQP, we call it. So, obviously, the postgraduate studies, yeah, that make you eligible to apply for the white CSCS card. So, yeah, simple as that. But obviously, I don't encourage you, generally, the students to apply straight to the CSCS card. The sole reason being is not required by every sort of project or every sort of employer. It depends on the project itself. So obviously, if you get opportunity from somewhere like on the railway sort of, yeah, side, so you won't require actually CSCS card there. We call it PTS, personal track safety card there. So you would require PTS rather than the CSCS card. So generally, I say you don't need to apply for the CSCS card beforehand. Once you get the opportunity to get a job, I'm sure the employer will guide you what CSCS card, if you need one, what CSCS card you need to apply for. And generally, the employer that they paid for the cards and for the training as well. So I generally ignore that CSCS card, but obviously, as far your question is concerned, so as a postgraduate students, yes, you are eligible for the white card there. So I hope that clarifies your question, Kaushal there. Um, I would like you to press the like button just to let me know that you have you got the answers there. Right. The next question is from Utsav. Sir, once you said you're looking for contract basis jobs, so that mean in the UK usually hire civil engineers only contract basis, not on permanent job basis. It's a good question. No, that is not the case. Very good question. I didn't want to get into the contract and the permanent sort of, yeah, side. It's a completely different beast, I should say. They work completely different way. Majority of the jobs, I would say at least 80-90% jobs are permanent, so you are not in the contract side, so you will be looking for permanent. Obviously, for all the graduates, you shouldn't be looking at the contract role. That's to start with. Actually, you should only be looking for permanent job. That's where you can excel, your basically get the exposure and get the experience. I will explain the difference, actually, what the difference between the two jobs are, and why I was looking for the contract rather than permanent. Yeah, I'll explain it there. But actually, for the graduate, it said 80-90% jobs that will be permanent, and the employer and the industry, they do encourage the permanent staff. Basically, obviously, they have a long term provision there in their sort of, yeah, goals there, so they will train you for in the long term. So that's where they prefer the permanent jobs there. So don't basically get into the contract unless you get a lots of experience there, and that's where you can jump between the contract or permanent, sort of, yeah, different regimes there. But the sole reason actually I went for the contract role is, obviously, I did the permanent role when I finished my studies for a long time, like about 7-8 years. In fact, in 9 years I was in a permanent role. I work for different consultancies, so in different sort of, yeah, departments there. Permanent role, that's where you get the exposure, the experience. You plan your sort of your future there, what you are getting to into. And my plan was obviously to get a chartered ship. That was my long-term plan, basically, to get a chartered ship. That was the ultimate goal from the permanent sort of role there, from the permanent job. And once I got those sorted, that's where I jumped over to the contract. And I would say the sole reason is you get a lot more money in the contract rather than the permanent. And but obviously there's a lot of risk as well involved in the contract roles. And I would just explain a bit more. As a permanent employee, you will be entitled to all the benefits as well. By benefits, I mean you will be entitled to get basically about 20 to 25 days annual leave as well, all paid. There will be a sick leave paid as well. So if you're sick any times during the year, you will get paid for those as well. There are bank holidays, 8 bank holidays in the UK, so you get paid for those as well. There will be pension contribution from the employer, so you get all those benefits actually from the employer being a permanent employee. And that's where basically your salary compared to the contract is a lot less. And as a contractor, you don't get any of these benefits basically. So you get a lump sum, considering all those benefits basically. So you get paid from the employer all those as a lump sum in a contract. And you work out basically all your expenses, everything there. And even if you're going holidays or you're sick, you'll not get paid for anything. But obviously you get a big chunk already from the employer there, so you just work out yourself there. And that's where since I became chartered engineer here in the UK, I switched myself, yeah, to the contractor. And I found it myself basically. I could see the difference. I've saved a lot more money basically in the contract. But having said that, it's not been less than a challenge all the time. Obviously, with the contract, generally it's based on the project itself. So if there's a project, they will hire you for that sort of contract once the project finishes. And then, yeah, you need to find another contract. Basically, that's how it works. But in permanent employee, it doesn't matter. If the project finishes, you're still employee. Even if they can't provide you the job there, if there's nothing else, you'll be there. You'll be get paid basically on monthly basis. So that's the difference. So I hope this clarifies a bit basically the difference between the contract and the permanent roles here. But I said, I mean, majority 80-90% roles are permanent here. So I would say for the time being, if you are a graduate, don't worry about the contract at all. Unless you are experienced, then get in touch with me. I'll show you the tricks how to get more money. Yeah. So I hope, Utsav, that clarifies your question there. And I would like more likes. Basically, if you are satisfied, so press the like button there. So I know basically you are satisfied. Right. So question is from Viren. Akoskar. Sir, what is chartered engineer exactly? Very good question. If you are basically started your journey as a graduate engineer, basically even if you are a student here, um, basically study a lot more about the chartership. I would say, obviously, I'm chartered with the ICE Institution of Civil Engineers. There's a lot more institutions here in the UK. You can be affiliated yourself depending on your course. Basically, that's where I generally say to the students, if plan your journey from way ahead. Obviously, when you choose the subject, when you choose the masters, make sure they ties up with your future plans as well. So obviously, if you're doing a chart, if you're doing masters in structural engineering, that means you can affiliate yourself with the institution of structural engineer. We got a completely different accreditation basically for the structural engineers. So if you're interested in that side, make sure your course is accredited to the istruct A. We call it institution of structural engineer. Obviously, if you're doing the civil engineering, you're doing the construction management sort of side, make sure your course is accredited to the ICE Institution of Civil Engineers. That's where you need to plan way ahead. I mean, when you join the university, or when you select your course, make sure you selected the right course there, and that can pave your way basically in the future. What exactly chartered engineer is? I did upload actually a couple of videos on my YouTube channel, and I'm sure that can guide you a lot more in depth, basically what you need to do to become a chartered engineer. But this is in short, this is accreditation from the Institution of Civil Engineer, and they basically sign you off that you are professional engineer, and you can basically you can actually, that affiliation works throughout the world. That is the beauty of this the Institution of Civil Engineer or Institution of Structural Engineer. Once you are chartered anywhere in the world, I mean, that recognizable. So even if I go basically Middle East, or I go America, I go Australia, everywhere that is affiliated there. So up straight away, I can even switch between the, like, I mean, in Australia, if they got the professional engineer accreditation, directly I can switch my accreditation from RCU to the PE there, the Australian. So that is the beauty of being a chartered engineer in the UK. That should be your long term, not long term, basically once you get into the job ladder, that should be your priority to get the chartership. And if you get more information, if you want more information, do search on my YouTube channel how to become chartered engineer, and I'm sure, yeah, that will guide you a lot more in depth, basically what exactly you need. But in a sense, you need a degree basically to be eligible there for the chartership, the relevant degree, and you need to have 3 to 4 years experience, relevant experience. I mean, to appear for the exam and for your sort of, yeah, for your chartership review. So that's all you need in short. But in depth, do check, yeah, the videos. I'm sure that's going to guide you. So if that helps, do press the like button. Uh, Question is from Gamey, sir. What about interior design? The short answer is I don't know. Because this is not my specialty, Gamey. I can't tell you about something which I'm not competent. Basically, I got no experience, and I have no interface or interaction with people. They are competent, or they are basically working as interior design, if I'm honest. So unfortunately, I can't answer your question there. uh, Next question is, it's important about the accreditation from the uni. Oh, I think I already touch upon these ones, Varun. It's very important when you choose the course. Before I answer your question, Varun, let's take this call. Hello, brother. You are live with JK. Can I take your name and your hello?
Hello, so this is Arpit Gupta here again.
Hi.
I just called you a little while ago.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I just have one more question that being a civil engineer and being a student over there, is there any highest paid or some good part-time jobs that can a civil engineer avail over there? I mean, there are a lot of part-time jobs related to warehouse operators and small-scale jobs, non-scale jobs. So
So
being a civil engineer, I want to use my skills also over there and earn some money using those skills rather than going some unskilled, choosing some unskilled jobs. So
okay,
is that
is that
something
for the
in your mind?
is that for the part-time jobs? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I got your question, brother. Stay online. Yeah, I'll answer your question there. Thank you. Thanks
Yes.
for the call.
Thank you.
So let's answer that question first. So generally, yeah, this is very common question from especially experienced engineers, that whether they can apply or basically the part-time jobs in the civil engineering industry or the construction industry. The simple answer is no, because generally I would say all the jobs, I mean, they are available in the professional industry, like in civil engineering industry, are permanent jobs. And obviously, as a student, you are not eligible to apply for those jobs. So even if you apply, you won't be entertained basically to go into the next stage, like interview and going forward. So the simple answer is no way you can avail those opportunities. The other sort of, yeah, like I mean, I would say semi-professional sort of jobs. I mean, that as a part-time, you can certainly find, as mentioned. I mean, if you're looking at the money, basically to get more money from the part-time jobs, obviously the security is one of the way actually security jobs, which you need to have the SIA license, and that's going to cost you. Basic initial cost is about 300 to 400 pound, and then you can apply for the security job. So security job is actually I don't know what it's called in Hindi, but in Urdu हम बोलते चौकीदार जो बोलते हैं, चौकीदारी होती है. So it's like, I mean, you will be basically, if you're doing security job at a shop, so you will be at the gate and just looking for the customer to make sure, yeah, that there's no mishaps there. I mean, that's what you do basically. You stand there and take a vigilant sort of, yeah, input there. You may do a CCTV sort of, yeah, security there as well. There will be CCTV, and you're gonna look basically at different cameras there. That's how the job works. But it's very easy jobs, and actually the good thing is the job works quite a long sort of, yeah, hours. So they are generally 10 to 12 hours shift basically. So obviously, the longer the hours, the more you earn there as well. So that would be the good way. The other jobs, I mean, you can apply is generally for the like I mean, with the Royal Mail and all the parcels delivery sort of, yeah, these sort of different DPD, armies. They're different sort of, yeah, the mail delivery, mail sorting sort of jobs, and there will be like the data entry jobs as well. I mean, that you can avail those opportunities as well, which is like, I mean, get basically on the computer, and you need to do the data entry basically for different passes. These are the sort of jobs they generally available for the part-times timers as well. So that's something you could do as well. These are not physical basically jobs. And obviously the other jobs you already mentioned, like I mean, in these departmental stores or the food chains or the other sort of, yeah, the endless outlets basically, they are available, but obviously there are a lot physical there. But I would say if you're doing part-time jobs, like I mean, only 2 days, you are basically you could do basically 2 shifts. I'm sure, yeah, you can manage that with your studies. I mean, if you're doing only 20 hours, it's quite easily. I've seen people they're doing 2 days basically a week, and it's easy. I would say just get on with it basically. If you can't get basically to the relevant what you wish for, basically easy job in the part time, forget it. Just get some money, basically part timer job. Concentrate on your study. That is your sort of, yeah, main goal, to clear your exams, everything in the first attempt. That should be your goal. And for the part-timer job, I would say it's so fast. Actually, you will be so busy with the exams, with the assignments, and with the all the coursework, with the dissertation. I'm sure it will be so busy life there, and you will get away. Whatever you get in place basically for the part-time, you will achieve those opportunity there. But as far, yeah, the good sort of money concerned, I would say security would be the best choice, but that's going to cost you initially a few sort of, yeah, pounds there to apply for the license. So that, but unfortunately, in the relevant sort of, yeah, engineering sector, unfortunately you will not get a chance to be hired as a part-timer there. You could do actually the CSCS for the labor as well. I mean, generally the people do that as well as a labor. But obviously, if you're doing labor there, that would be physical as well. So I would rather stay to the basically the basics there. For the CSCS card, again, you have to apply for the CSS labor card, which is the green card if you're going into that sort of side. And you can basically get into that sort of labor sort of side as well in the industry. That's the only way, but I'm not sure how much part-time opportunities are there in the even if you do the labor sort of side of the CSCS card, whether that's going to give you more sort of opportunity there. I'm not sure. I doubt it there will be, but these are the different choices you have. So I hope I've clarified your questions there. uh, right, let's go back to the live chat. So we left with Varen. So how much it's important about the accreditation from the UK, from the uni. So wherein it's very important. I did touch upon here previously as well. That's what where I say basically, plan your future from the very onset. When you choose a course, plan your future way ahead. Basically, where you want to end up yourself into, whether you want to get into the CIOB, like I mean, yeah, you want to stay into the building side. That's where you need to choose your course accordingly to that one, and you need to get into the same field as well basically. So that's where you need to be very precise about, yeah, choosing your course and your future. Generally, it's not hard and fast. You can change out along the way there, but obviously it's always good to have a clear picture beforehand. That's always I said. Once you have a clear picture, you can concentrate on that one as well, rather than, yeah, be distracting yourself from one side to the other. Obviously it's not good for planning your future. So as far the course is concerned, this is very important. So you need to make sure the course you are undertaking, they are accredited to your relevant future. So if I'm going for the ICE chartership in the future, I will look for for the courses, I mean, the universities are offering, whether they are accredited to the ICE. So that's where I would plan my future and choose the course and the university. That's exactly should be your plan as well. So plan ahead, yeah, plan your future, and that's where you're gonna ultimately that should be your goal as well, to achieve those your future. So as far your question is concerned, is very very important, yeah, the accreditation. So I hope that clarifies your question. So question from Utsav: so non-UK residents can get UK civil government jobs? Yes, they can. We don't have really specific about the government, non-government, or semi-government sort of, yeah. Generally in the sort of Asian community, we are pretty keen basically to go into the government sort of jobs. It doesn't feel the same way here in the UK. Even if you're government, you're non-government, you work the same way. There's no getaway basically. There's no easy life when you get to the job. Basically, you have to work. So like I mean, for instance, if I say government, so in the railway industry, the network rail, we call that as a government. Basically, that's non for profit sort of, yeah, organization, and they maintain all the railway throughout the UK. So that work as a government. But personally, I wouldn't wish to work for them. They are government, but obviously the way the market works, I wouldn't work for them. It's just depends basically what they can offer to you as well. It's not about um, about, yeah, you need to the government sort of sector, obviously what they can offer, what salary you're going to get, what sort of, yeah, different sort of benefits you're going to get from them as well. So it doesn't basically, I would say, it doesn't make a huge difference whether you're doing government job or non-government job, or with a completely private sort of, yeah, small sort of company there. So in the highway sort of sector, so we have the highway, England highways, I believe, yeah, highway England sort of, yeah, that they work as a as a as a government. And again, yeah, I can't see a difference between the Harvey Englands or some other sort of, yeah, the main consultants which are private companies. So it doesn't work the same way as we are thinking from the Asian sort of, yeah, mindset. Government, non-government job, you can easily apply for any jobs in the UK as long, yeah, you are eligible to apply for the job. So it doesn't matter. And in fact, yeah, in when you search for the jobs and on those job portals, it wouldn't say this is government, this is non-government. They will advertise basically exactly the same way as the other private sort of, yeah, sectors that would advertise as well. So there's no difference at all. So I hope that clarifies your question there. um, Arpit, thank you so much for your advice. I would like to meet you once. Please guide me, shape my career in the railway. My pleasure, Arpith. Yeah, I always encourage, basically, if I can help a single person, that's a win-win for me. Thank you. Great information. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Oh, so it looks like, yeah, it's the final messages. Yeah, thank you. So it looks like, yeah, we have covered most of the question there. So let's have another question, sir. Is this there any way I come UK 1 year before masters and earn money for my master fees, and after then join my masters? That was the good days actually. I'm not sure if you watched my video about my career as well. That was the good old days. We used to do that when I was doing my masters. So I came to the UK. Just a bit of background, basically. I came to the UK, and I was exactly in the same boat. Actually, no money to study at the time, and I skipped basically that year, and actually I started a year later. Basically, I earned my fee here from part-time, full-time jobs. Actually, I was doing full-time job at the time, the odd jobs, and I earned the money and started my masters in the next year. But I said those were all good days basically. So the laws changed considerably since. Obviously, you are so much restricted now. There's no way you can do that now because the visa you're going to get basically from India, you're going to get 90 days sort of, yeah, vignet on your passport. So that means you only come here for the 90s, and if you disappear within 90 days, basically you become illegal here in the UK. And with that 90 days, you need to get your BRP sorted from the university. So you're so much restricted nowadays that there's no way you can do that. But yeah, that was the old good days. We used to do it, and I did myself as well there. Fortunate enough at that time, and unfortunately, is not the same. Basically, the laws, yeah, keep changing all the time, but it's so much restricted now, unfortunately, Utsav. So the best thing would be, I do advise the students, uh, if you can manage, I would say at least 80% your fee or 70% your fee from your home country, then the rest, yeah, you can manage here in the UK from a part-time, full-time jobs while you're doing your studies. Otherwise, you're gonna definitely struggle, and I don't want you to get into that sort of stage, because study should be your priority. That's what my message is. So concentrate, make sure you don't get into to that stage where, yeah, you're basically concerned about the fee, and you don't get, yeah, basically you stress yourself for the jobs, and yeah, finding the jobs, you struggle for that, and uh, you're not going to get anywhere. So I would encourage you, if you can manage your fee about 70-80% from the home, then it will be easy life here. Yeah, I'm sure you can sort out the rest here during the year. So next question is from Yogal Nathan. Would a non-accredited course affect my job securement, sir? Referring T-side project management course. Uh, no, brother. The job actually, no, it won't be affected at all. In fact, these accreditation is your personal development. Let me be clear there. So obviously, when you join an employer, I mean, as a fresher, they won't anticipate you to be basically eligible, basically to apply for the any IC, they won't ask you those questions at all. at the obviously the initial sort of stages. This accreditation is completely your personal development, so that's where it's really important that you plan your future. You don't plan your employer future, so you need to plan your future there. So as long that they are accredited course, what your future looks like, how you see your future basically, so you should go for those courses. But as far the jobs are concerned, it's not basically, you won't be affected at all if you're applying for the sort of graduate jobs. Obviously it comes to that point when you get lots of experience, like 5 6 years experience, and then you try to apply for the chartership and your course was not eligible, then you have to go to more training and that sort of side. And I'm sure, yeah, that's going to give you a headache there. So that's why I said plan your future from from the onset. As long, I mean, if you're happy non-accredited course, that won't affect you as such basically in finding the job. So that is the answer. I hope that clarifies your question there, Yugal. So, guys, thank you very much for your participation. And this is a live sort of 1 hour session. We go slightly over 1 hour now, and this will be Sunday brunch, no, Sunday afternoon, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. live session every Sunday. So if you do get questions, make sure you prepare yourself here for this session. I said earlier, I do share my WhatsApp number, but please, uh, I generally can't respond to individual sort of messages there, and unfortunately, it's not something I can manage myself. I said at the start, it's something, if I start doing that, that will be my full-time job, unpaid full-time job, and which I don't want to do actually. So I want to restrict myself to 1 hour here. Also, apart from this live chat, I have the WhatsApp groups as well. Generally, I add the links into the YouTube. Actually, the videos I generally upload, I do share the link of the WhatsApp group in the description there as well. So you could join those groups, and they're like-minded engineers there. I'm sure, yeah, there are lots of engineers there. Even if I can't respond straight away to your answer to your questions there, there will be competent engineers there, and I'm sure they take the lead actually on those groups as well. I do manage those. Well, I say manage, not as in such sort of instant, but if there's a questions there, and if I'm busy, you will definitely get actually answers from other sort of counterparts there, from your colleagues there as well. So I would encourage you, if you are basically looking for some question, if you have something to clear basically in your mind, do join those groups as well and ask the question there. And if you can't wait obviously for this live session on Sunday, then you can raise your questions there, and I'm sure, and whenever I get a chance, I generally respond in that group there as well, basically during the weekdays. But generally this is the only 1 hour session that's I generally give and basically dedicate to yourselves basically. So I hope this is a useful sort of intake. And as said, if you missed the earlier part, I generally upload this session to the my YouTube channel as well, so you can repeat. And I'm sure, yeah, this will guide you in terms of how to get into the UK. That's the main purpose of this live session. uh, Thank you very much again, and I hope to see you next Sunday as well. So keep that in your diary as well. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, do subscribe to the channel, and I'm sure you will find useful information there as well. And obviously, if you like me to basically do a specific sort of videos on specific subjects, I would encourage you do comment on the videos, and I do read, yeah, actually the comments there on the YouTube as well. And obviously whoever, yeah, whatever topic, yeah, gets more sort of the questions, basically the request there, I would try to make the videos based on those as well. So that would be helpful as well for me, basically, to plan the future videos there as well. And finally, yeah, thank you very much for your time as well. I hope this was useful information, and hope to see you in the next session next Sunday. So till then, take care and keep smiling. Thank you very much.